Hello, I'm Dr. Hao from Beijing Jishuitan Hospital. My talk today is a conversion of sagittal functional safe zone into Coronal plane using a validated algorithm, the recent failure of Lewinnek safe zone. For the background, the traditional Lewinnek safe zone has been reported to be effective for predicting dislocation after THA. Professor Labrador proposed a new method of combined sagittal index, which can predict the joint stability after THA. This is a big progress because it's a sagittal functional safe zone, which determines normal ranges of cup anti-inclination in the sagittal view in both the standing and sitting positions. However, the CSI index cannot be readily applied to the pre-op planning of THA, which commonly use the anteversion and inclination defined in the coronal view. Here's our research questions. We asked first, what is the mathematic algorithm between the AI, RA, and RI and pelvic tilts? And second, what is the difference between the CSI and Lewinnek safe zone? And third, is there a sweet point that always fulfills the AI criteria of a CSI safe zone? To answer these questions, we establish an algorithm for calculation of AI. To answer question 1, we utilized both a phantom experiment and a patient radiographic study to compare the theoretical AI and the measured AI in the US natural view images. The phantom pelvis is a 3D printed model which can accurately adjust the PT values after implanting a zip cup using robotic DHA. The patient cohort included 100 consecutive patients who had robotic DHA in our center and took standing and sitting US images preoperatively and at 6 months after follow-up. To answer question 2, we used the same cohort of patients. The CSI of each patient was then converted into the coronal functional safe zone using an algorithm with a standing AI smaller than 45 degrees and sitting AI larger than 41 degrees as a criteria. The percentages that the traditional Lewinnek safe zone fell inside of the coronal functional safe zone were calculated. To answer question 3, we tried to identify if any sweet point of the Acetabular positions existed that can fulfill the CSI requirements for all the 100 patients, or any subgroups by pelvic motion or pelvic incidence. For the results of question 1, the algorithm is highly accurate by the phantom study. For patient radiograph study, the theoretical AI calculated and the follow-up was highly accurate, but the pre-op predicted AI was less accurate as it's based on the pre-op pelvic tilt. For question 2, originally 64% of the Lewinnek safe zone fulfills the CSI criteria, and the size of coronal functional safe zone corresponds linearly with the standing to sitting pelvic motion as well as the pelvic incidence. For question 3, these no sweet points could be identified to fulfill the AI limits of the CSI index for all the 100 patients, nor does any subgroups by either PM or PI. So take-home messages: the algorithm is accurate and can convert the CSI index into the coronal plane, and the Lewinnek safe zone fails because averagely 40% does not fit into the CSI criteria. And certainly is no universal cup orientations to guarantee a safe orientation for all patients, and the target orientation should be individualized. Thank you very much.